The concept of see and avoid requires under Federal Aviation Administration advisory that vigilance shall be maintained at all times by each person operating an aircraft, regardless of whether the operation is conducted under instrument flight rules or visual flight rules.
Effective scanning is accomplished with a series of short, regularly spaced eye movements that bring successive areas of the sky into the central visual field. Each movement should not exceed 10 degrees. One of the first lessons that pilots are taught is the responsibility to watch out for other aircraft, to see and avoid.
Skyline 6 Uniform Romeo, make right traffic, clear to takeoff.
Right traffic, clear to go.
But mid-air collisions do occur. The ever-increasing cockpit workloads of modern aircraft take valuable time away from seeing and avoiding. It seems the bigger and more complex the aircraft you fly, the more there is to do inside the cockpit.
Power set, APR's armed. Airspeed's live, check. 80 knots. V1, rotate. Positive rate.
Pilots simply don't have enough time to constantly monitor the airspace around them. Most collisions occur when one or both aircraft are changing altitude or when one aircraft is overtaking another. When an aircraft is descending, the pilots have no way of looking for traffic directly below. No amount of skill or experience can protect a pilot from mid-air collision. Traffic on a collision course above or below your aircraft is usually impossible to see. If air traffic control are unable to identify a conflict, you and your passengers have no warning of the danger. Mid-air collisions don't occur every day, but when they do happen, the aircraft and the lives of those on board are almost always lost. Clearly, the biggest problem with see and avoid is the areas of the sky that you can't see. In most aircraft, there is no way to scan the critical areas above and behind and below and in front of the aircraft.
You know, we all strive to fly safely. Each of us takes pride in checking our equipment and diligently following safety procedures. General aviation has sophisticated equipment. It helps us navigate, communicate, and monitor the weather. But until recently, nothing to detect the presence of other aircraft, to help the pilot see and avoid. During the 1980s, the FAA developed a sophisticated collision avoidance system for commercial traffic. The result was TCAS. Realizing the threat that mid-air collisions pose, the FAA has mandated TCAS in all commercial airliners and some categories of charter operation. But TCAS is a highly complex system which can cost tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars to install. Hardly realistic for general aviation. Now, in the past, pilots like you and me had to make do, trying to see and avoid as best we could. Of course, that's all changed now.
The Ryan TCAD is the most popular pilot-chosen collision avoidance device in the world. It constantly monitors the airspace around you and alerts you of any transponder-equipped aircraft detected. As we know, airliners are equipped with TCAS. TCAS presents a picture of traffic that looks like this. TCAS shows the position of the traffic relative to the host aircraft, but it does not use bearing for collision avoidance. It uses altitude separation. As any air traffic controller will tell you, Aircraft can't collide if they're not at the same altitude. The FAA relies on altitude separation for collision avoidance with TCAS. For the past 20 years, Paul Ryan has been dedicated to improving the safety of general aviation. His revolutionary storm scope, easier to interpret and less expensive than weather radar, has saved countless lives by giving pilots the information they need for effective weather avoidance. To solve the problem of mid-air collision, Ryan has again patented a solution of elegant simplicity and clear vision. He realized that altitude separation and distance were the most important factors for collision avoidance, and that they could be shown more effectively by taking a profile view of traffic. Looking at the picture this way, it's clear which traffic poses the threat. Upon detecting traffic, TCAD quickly computes which is the primary threat, and that traffic is displayed. Remember, it doesn't matter what direction it's in. You can't collide with a plane that's 1,000 feet below you. Traffic on or approaching your altitude is the possible collision threat. TCAD reports the presence of traffic, its altitude separation from you, and an indication of altitude trend. This symbol indicates that separation is decreasing. TCAD also measures the approximate distance to the threat and displays that distance. TCAD enables you to maintain vertical separation. To avoid this traffic, bearing is not important. Vertical separation is maintained until distance starts to increase. TCAD is warning this pilot of traffic 1,000 feet above and descending and a half a mile range. The pilot is alerted to the threat, and even though he doesn't know what direction the traffic is in, he can control the altitude separation and the conflict is avoided. Imagine if all of the pilots who've lost their lives in mid-air collisions could have been warned of the approaching threat. TCAD is warning these pilots of the traffic 1,000 feet below and closing, and a half a mile range. They don't know the direction, but they can control the altitude separation and monitor the distance, and the conflict is avoided. What causes collisions is lack of situational awareness. Avoiding traffic that you know about is easy if you know its altitude and distance. Here, TCAD warns the pilot of traffic 400 feet above at 1 mile and closing, probably an aircraft on final. That's especially useful at non-towered fields where 70% of collisions occur. TCAD monitors an area of airspace around you called the air traffic shield. Any transponder-equipped traffic detected within the shield is reported. TCAD works by receiving transponder replies from other traffic in the area. TCAD uses transponder replies to detect traffic that would otherwise be impossible to see and avoid. The air traffic shield provides a constant vigil above, below, and all around your aircraft, keeping you aware of all transponder-equipped traffic. There are 3 different models of TCAD to meet the needs of a broad variety of general aviation. The ATS 7000 is a self-contained panel mount unit which reports altitude separation and distance to threat. The ATS 7000 measures 6.25 inches wide by 1.5 inches tall and 11.4 inches deep and weighs only 4 pounds. The ATS 8000 is a self-contained panel-mounted unit, the same size and weight as the 7000. The ATS 8000 features multi-mode adjustable shield size, automatic ground and departure modes, density altitude calculator, and altitude alert. As well as altitude separation and distance, the ATS 8000 can report the traffic's MSL and squawk and provides a backup altimeter. The ATS 9000 features a compact 3 by 1.5 inch processor, which minimizes the use of panel space. The ATS 9000 features multi-mode variable shield size, ground, departure, and approach modes. The unit reports threat MSL and squawk and features a density altitude calculator, altitude alert, and backup altimeter. The unit is able to track up to 50 aircraft, showing the highest priority threat by altitude separation and indicating up to 2 additional threats which can be viewed. The display and processor weigh 5 pounds. TCAD can be installed in virtually any aircraft and brings effective collision avoidance within the reach of thousands of pilots. Whether you fly single engine or multi, turboprop, jet, experimental, or helicopter, you can join hundreds of pilots already enjoying the safety and peace of mind that TCAD provides. An investment in your aircraft that will increase its value and sailability, and an investment in safety that could save your plane and your life. Contact Ryan International today to learn more about the most popular collision avoidance device in the world.